Hello folks, I thought today I would provide a little video on my next project. This isn't a wrenching project, but rather something for the shop. What you see in front of you right now is a Tambour door that's used for a storage cabinet, and I'll show a picture of the cabinet later on in this video. But the door itself is a piece of plastic, and it's got these live hinges that are supposed to flex. Let me use this one, it'll be a little easier like this. And what's happened through age, I've had this cabinet for a long time, they become brittle and fractured. As you can see here, I've got 4 separate breaks in the Tambour door, rather 4 sections, 3 separate breaks or separations. And it's just a matter of time, I believe, before the others are probably going to go too. I didn't really want to get rid of the cabinet. It's very handy to have, and because it takes advantage of vertical space, and the door, closing off the door helps keep the contents clean from the other shop work. So I kicked around a few ideas on how best to address this, so I'm going to experiment with something here, to be honest about that. I've been most curious about this Gorilla tape. I'm a real fan, by the way, of Gorilla adhesives. I think they're urethane based, and they're very aggressive, and they're very permanent, so keep that in mind. But I've never used their Gorilla tape. This is a very heavy-duty duct tape, essentially, or duct type tape. This obviously is white. You can get it in different colors. And I haven't really had a use for it up until now, but I thought I'd give that a try. So I'm going to take the duct tape, and I'm going to, obviously I'll close up the joints, align it, and I'm going to use duct tape to bridge the gap here where the seam failed at each of the breaks, and then I'll flip it over and do the same thing on the back side. And eventually I'll probably come back and tape each seam, even the ones that have not failed yet, as an attempted repair. Don't really know if it's going to work. There's a couple of different ways one could go about fixing something like this. I thought this is the quickest, the cheapest, and it gives me a chance to put this high quality tape, and I think it is a high quality tape, through its paces and see how it holds up. Before I use the tape though, certainly I'm going to clean all the joints, and I'll use my handy dandy contact cleaner. This is plastic safe, and since this is a plastic, I have to be careful what I'm going to use to clean the joints before I apply the tape. I want it good and clean. Any oil or dust, debris, or whatever I need to get off. So I'll use this because it's safe. I've profiled this in a previous posting on my blog, by the way, if you're curious about that. But it cleans very well, it evaporates quickly, and it is plastic safe. So this is the beginning of the project, and as I proceed through it, I'll record more components and put it together as one final segment. Thanks. Here's the finished unit. I've just completed taping the joints, trimming them flush with the edges of the plastic door itself. So the next step obviously will be to install it in the cabinet. I think I'll lubricate the track it rides in. I haven't decided yet exactly how I'm going to do that, but that will be the next step, and then I'll slide this plastic Tambour door into the cabinet and see how it works. So here's the finished unit. I just finished installing the door in the cabinet. You see I actually have 2 cabinets. The one on the right, they've obviously changed the design of the door a bit, probably to address this issue of the brittle live hinge in the plastic that I was confronted with in this situation. The one on the left, obviously I just finished putting it back together. You can see the tape. I did both the inside and the outside joints. So the hinge is right in the middle of each one of these. It works pretty well. I don't open these commonly. These units are not something I use every day. I use them really for long-term storage, so maybe half a dozen times a year each one of them will get opened. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out over time. See how it all holds up. As I indicated in the earlier segment, there's a couple of options, ways I could have approached this problem, so I decided just to try this Gorilla tape. It's a very heavy-duty duct tape, essentially. So I thought I'd give it a shot. It was quick, and it was inexpensive. And if it doesn't work out, then fine. Really no harm. and I'll be back to the drawing board. But I think I'll give this a shot and see how it holds up next period of time. And perhaps have to do another video on that, we'll see. But in the meantime, I just wanted to show you what it looked like. There's the other one. Other than the plastic Tambour doors, the design of the doors, the cabinets are essentially identical. There's really no difference between them. They're old medical storage cabinets. Are used in laboratory environments, and I've had them for years. As you can see, they're well worn and faded and yellowed and that kind of thing. So until next time, thanks for watching.